Once upon a time in the small village of Meadowbrook, there lived a pig named Percival. Unlike the other pigs who enjoyed frolicking in the mud and basking in the sun, Percival had a troubled mind. He was often seen pacing back and forth in his pen, muttering to himself and glaring suspiciously at anyone who dared to approach. The villagers, wary of his unpredictable behavior, kept their distance. Percival's troubling thoughts began after an incident at the local fair. As a young piglet, he had been put on display for a competition and subjected to the loud, chaotic environment of cheering crowds and blaring music. The overwhelming sensory experience left a deep scar on his psyche. From that day on, Percival harbored a simmering resentment toward humans. Years passed, and Percival grew into a large, powerful pig. The villagers noticed that strange things began to happen. Tools went missing from sheds, and mysterious scratches appeared on doors. It wasn't long before the rumors started. Percival the pig was behind it all. One summer evening, young Timmy Jenkins was walking home from a baseball game. He was passing by Percival's pen when he heard an unsettling rustling sound. Timmy turned to see Percival standing on his hind legs, gripping a wooden baseball bat in his front hooves. His eyes were wild, and his snout twitched with an eerie intensity. Before Timmy could react, Percival charged at him, swinging the bat with surprising force. The blow caught Timmy on the shoulder, knocking him to the ground. Dazed and in pain, Timmy scrambled to his feet and ran as fast as he could, screaming for help. The villagers were shocked and horrified when they heard Timmy's story. They had never seen an animal act with such calculated aggression. The next morning, a group of brave men armed themselves and approached Percival's pen. But Percival was ready. He had fashioned a makeshift barricade and wielded his bat with grim determination. As the men approached, Percival let out a menacing squeal and swung his bat wildly, forcing them to retreat. They quickly realized that Percival was not just a disturbed animal, but a dangerous one. The village council convened an emergency meeting to decide what to do. Some suggested calling in animal control, while others whispered about more drastic measures. That night, while the villagers debated, Percival made his move. Under the cover of darkness, he escaped from his pen and disappeared into the nearby woods. The villagers searched for him for days, but it was as if he had vanished into thin air. The children were warned not to play near the forest, and the adults spoke in hushed tones about the rogue pig lurking in the shadows. Months passed, and the fear began to subside. Life in Meadowbrook returned to normal, but the memory of Percival lingered. Some claimed to have seen him at the edge of the woods, his bat gleaming ominously in the moonlight. Others swore they heard his eerie muttering carried on the wind. Years later, the story of Percival the pig became a local legend, a cautionary tale told to children to keep them from wandering too far from home. The villagers never forgot the day they learned that even the most seemingly harmless creatures could harbor a darkness beyond their understanding. And so the legend of Percival the pig who hit people with a baseball bat lived on, a haunting reminder of the unpredictable nature of the world and the thin line between sanity and madness.